originally from a small town in northeastern Pennsylvania near Scranton. And my background, my bachelor's degree was in hospitality management. So after I had graduated, I had been working in a hotel and I was hired as their rooms division manager. And I just kind of had a moment one day where I realized that I really wasn't feeling fulfilled, and I just felt that there was something bigger that I could be doing. So 3 months after my husband and I got married, we made the decision that we were both going to continue our education. We both received our master's degrees in elementary ed and curriculum. So it's the best decision we could have made.
When my daughter was born, my wife and I decided to move back home to Clarksville to raise her around family and, familiar stomping grounds. And so I pressed really hard to try and get into teaching, but I didn't go to school for teaching. So I was offered a job with the understanding that I would have to basically get another degree. To be honest, it was incredibly difficult, but I had a lot of support from colleagues, and the district is likewise incredibly supportive, and they also offer tons of resources for helping to make sure that you are successful, even with very limited teaching experience. So there's kind of a great safety net in CMCSS.
Out of high school, I wanted to be a physical therapist. Started going. It wasn't my cup of tea. Everything that glitters is not gold. So then I changed my major to physical education, which is where my heart is at, and the cards just didn't fall right. So I ended up being an educational assistant. Did that for 3.5 years, and then an opportunity opened up and I was able to transition into a classroom in January. Right now, I'm still going to Austin Peay. I'm getting my master's in the art of teaching in special education content. So I'm technically on the transitional license, but our administration here is awesome as far as allowing us to be able to, because classes start like right after work, so allowing us to jet out the door on a Thursday night because they know I have classes, or pointing us in the right direction to get the resources that we need so that we can finish doing what we have to do there, because without being able to do what we do there, we couldn't do what we do here. So we're teachers by day and then back to students by night.
I've been building since around 95, 96 is when I started. What got me here was a phone call around springtime last year to come in and talk about the opening, and said my name had been mentioned a few times, and I really started thinking about it heavy then. I came in and met the administration here, and they showed me around the facility, showed me this area, the shop, and the outside shop, and started talking about their love for the students and their love for the faculty and how closely knit they were. And I started seeing some of the faculty that I knew, and I was like, wow, I can feel, it was very family feeling, it was very close knit, and that was drawing me into that, and it just kept, all the arrows kept signaling to stop what I was doing and pursue this job.
As my husband and I were completing the master's degree, we knew that our area of the country really did not have jobs available for teachers. Districts would have maybe one job open in a year, and they were few and far between. So we took a step back and did a lot of research on other areas of the country, and we actually landed upon Nashville originally. And once we started looking at school districts in and around Nashville, we found Clarksville. And as we researched the district, we just loved what we saw. Everything seemed very forward. They were just ahead of anything that we had seen. The website alone, the information that we could gather, the graduation rate was a huge selling point for us. So we started applying in a district in a city that we had never even stepped foot in. So we were really glad once we got here that we had found it.
Because of the resources of this county, because of the knowledge of the staff that they have in administration, particularly in content specialty, you can enter the job with almost no experience, no training, and you will still be okay. Your first year, even with all the experience in the world and with all the training in the world, is going to be a challenge, but you can do it because of what this county offers you.
Well, as a first-year teacher on my transitional license, the district assigns you a mentor, and she would sit and she would observe, and her job was not to bring pressure or make it awkward, but she was just there to help. So by them giving me a mentor, she would come regularly and she would point out, this is what you're doing right, this is some areas that you need to fix. She comes as much or as little as I want her to. If I know that I'm having a hard lesson or I want to try new things, I can call my mentor and she can come, and she's so willing to just show up all the time. And then we schedule a post observation to where she can just help me reflect on how it went.
Especially in comparison to my undergrad in business, where I would go home and feel like, if I come to work tomorrow, I come to work. If I don't, somebody else can do what I'm doing. Every day, whether I feel great or I'm tired or, had a bad morning, I want to come here. I want to see my students. I go home at the end of the day, and even if it wasn't the greatest day at work, somebody has made me smile. I've gotten through some concept to at least some of my students and felt like I'm really making a difference, whether it's the way that I'm educating them based on the curriculum, or maybe that little life lesson that we had to have after recess. I feel like I'm making a difference, and I'm definitely feeling fulfilled. And this district and all of the supports that they offer and all of the guidance that they provide, especially to new teachers, helps me feel like week by week and day by day I'm becoming a better educator than I walked in here as.
When you see them learn a new thing that they were either unsure about or scared to do, and then they start seeing the potential of what else they can make after they do one simple little thing or get over a fear of using a certain tool or the unknowns of how that works, and then they start getting creative and those light bulbs are going off and you can just see the creativity coming out. It's so worth it. It's so much better than building a home. It's hard to explain how much more enjoyable it is to come to work and see the rewards of these students getting it.
This county offers not only a great amount of content support, professional development support, great structure, very clear, very high, but very clear expectations about your performance. They also offer all the things that you as an adult human being would like. Amazing health insurance, a really fantastic and competitive pay rate based on experience levels, based on degree attained. It's just a fantastically secure place to work. It's everything that you would want in a teaching job with stability and structure.
There's always an opportunity when you work for CMCSS. There's always a place where you can find to fit in. There's so many different schools, so many different varieties, so you can find what feels like home. You can find where your personality and where your methods and your strategies fit. You can find, it's a good meshing place with lots and lots and lots of different types of people and personalities and thoughts and ideas. But the best part is that we always keep the main thing, and that's our kids, making sure that they are taken care of and that they are successful.